What's up, you guys? So we are back at it, and I can tell you I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. It's mid 60s right now. We're gonna get into the 80s, mid 80s. We're gonna have a 5 to 10 mile an hour southeast wind, and I'm gonna look offshore at 11 o'clock. The temperature is supposed to pick up, and the clouds are supposed to kind of pull out, and it's gonna get sunnier. So I'm thinking I'm gonna look offshore, see if I can find anything while the cloud cover is here, and then as that sun and the temperatures pick up, we will move up shallow. But if I don't see anything out off these grass edges, we're gonna move in. The water temperature is 66 degrees on this lake, and we will see you in a minute.
Wait, stop the presses. Stop the presses. Stop what you're doing, no, that's another video. Hold up. Wait a minute, no, that's another video. But I have got to take the opportunity to set this day up. So we're gonna flip the script, and I want to tell you how this day started. So basically, as I said, all the conditions that I put out,
and then I couldn't find anything on the edges. I scanned, I couldn't find anything offshore, outside grass lines. It's springtime, I wanted to fish shallow anyway. I figured 6 feet, I can hit 4, I can hit 8. We're gonna work that kind of 4 to 8 range, see where these fish are. It was windy, so I worked that west bank, but it was so windy. The only thing I could throw is a moving bait. And I hadn't fished a swim jig ever. So last year I bought some, just never picked them up, never put them together. Swim jig to me was just one of those things. I got a chatterbait, I got a speed worm, I can do that. But a lot of these lakes, when you get up in that shallow water, the grass is just insane. And you just can't work a chatterbait through it. You can work a speed worm through it, but it just isn't really the same because it hangs up, it bogs, it grabs grass with the tail. You really need some clear water, I feel like, and you need some empty water above that grass. And you have to work it slower. With that wind, it was just kind of hard. So I said, let me pick up a swim jig. I've had the setup that I felt like I should use. And let me tell you, everybody has their opinion on what you should be throwing
a swim jig on.
So I've heard slow speed reels, I've heard high speed reels, I've heard 30 pound, 40 pound, 50 pound braid. Some guys use fluorocarbon, some guys use composite rods, some guys use heavy action rods, some guys are using medium action graphite rods. So what do? My setup, 7-3-1 gear ratio reel, 50 pound braid, a heavy action 7-2 rod. So that is what I felt like where I was going to start with fishing swim jigs. So I said, you know what, we're out here, let's just take the opportunity, we'll fish it all day. I didn't want to slow down, I didn't want to fish a worm, I wanted to fish fast, I wanted to cover as much water as I could and see what was going on in this lake, see if I could find out where they were spawning on this lake. So that wind was so bad, blowing on that west kind of northwest area, I said, let's go to the calm side. And like I said, I wanted to target 6 feet. I can throw 4, cover 4 to 6 towards the bank. I can cover 6 to 8 and kind of cover that span with that swim jig. Here's what happened.
There he is. Here we go. Here we go, boys. Got your butt, didn't I? Alright. Let's go. Let's go. Swim jig in his face.
Wow, it's not even that big. It felt big when you hit it, that's for dang sure. Look how pretty that fish is. Thank you, buddy. Let's see if we can get your mama. Not a big one, but threw out there, easing that swim jig, just a regular reel, and hooking to that one. But like I said, not a big one, just a small quality fish. But that kind of said, okay, they're 6 to 8. So then I proceed down this bank and watch this.
Oh, God. Oh, no. You son of a gun. That was a big one, bro. He was frayed out going. Dang. The first one I caught, I waited, and I didn't wait.
Holy cow! Did I just miss? Oh my God. I don't know. I don't know how big it was, but I think it was really, really big. But I think my issue, and you can see I'm reeling it back relatively, you know, not slow, not fast, just regularly. It hit as soon as he hit, I set, and that joker took off. So if the people that say 6-to-1 reel, I'm fishing a 7.3. That thing pulls 32 inches of line, this Quantum, and I could not keep up with them. But do I want an 8-to-1? It pulls 36, but you lose the power. The gears aren't as strong. I still think 7.3 is the way to go, but it was insane how I could not keep up with the fat fish. And it was a crazy tidal wave shot when it ran. And I don't know what happened, if I pulled it out of his mouth, if he took off when I set it, so I never got the hook in him. But right now, I'm a little flustered. So I worked down, and that was right off some lily pads, probably in 3 to 4 feet as I was working kind of that 6. So come back around, come down the bank. I am working kind of that shallow 6, probably 4, because the tapers change. I come around, and then there's a flat. It's kind of a point, but it's a shallow flat that tapers out. I'm going out that. As soon as I hit 6 feet, this happened.
Oh. Fish. There it is. Oh, let's see one, guys. Stay hooked, stay hooked, stay hooked, stay hooked. Stay hooked. Looks like I barely got him hooked. Barely. Where are we at? 6 feet right here. There we go. Let's go. Barely got him. Look at that. I noticed that. Look at that. It's not even in. Look at that. That's why I'm that first one. It's a good one. Probably 3.5. Let's see real quick. That's one of those Terminator heavy cover swim jigs. Maybe the hook's too big. I don't know. 3-1. Ah, it's a good fish. Dark fish too, bro. There you go. Not super dark, but maybe we found us a little area. I'm throwing this Terminator, thick cover, heavy cover swim jig. It's got a good, nice big hook, but I don't know. It was tucked up in there, but it was not pierced.
Now we're talking. Now that is a good fish. So everything happened the way it should have happened. And I did not wait. I may have waited a little bit. He hit, and I missed him. And then he came back, he hit it again, and I set it. Got him in the boat. Get him in, fire right back out in the same area. And this happens.
There it is. We found them, boys. Found some over here. Sweet. That's the male. Kind of like it, what you call it. Hook it. You can hook the small ones, the big ones. Oh no. I'll have to put more pressure on them, I guess. That sure was quick.
Not a big one, just a small one, and that may have been a pair, or maybe I hit an area. But I worked through that area, and as soon as you kind of came to that 6 feet, 7 feet, is massive eelgrass all the way to the surface, and it's pretty a crazy area. But what else could you throw through that other than a swim jig? So I move around, start covering water 6 feet, and I throw laterally, and there's not a lot of grass right there. So I don't know if it just drops down, if I hit an edge. The water got a lot deeper. But since I wasn't hitting that grass, I slowed it down. Because when you're hitting grass, you want to reel. Okay, I'm bumping it. That's a good level. If you're not hitting grass, just slow it down. Let it sink down a little bit lower so you start hitting that grass. Of course, if the grass is real high, you're going to be reeling it fast. So you probably want to go down and wait. So I fire out there and watch this.
This was awesome.
Ooh, it's a big one. Float it down. Let's go. Let's go. Stay on. I think my rod just broke. Dang, he just spit a big old bait out of his mouth. Let's go. Slowed it down. Look at that chunk, bro. Look at that. Ooh. Look how fat. 6-pounder. Spit a big old gizzard out of his mouth. That's a big one, boys. It's heavy. 4 or 5. God, it looks bigger than that. Let's go. That's a toad, dude. That is a toad. Short. That's why. Look at that, guys. Nice fish. There you go. There you go, girl. I'm sorry you had to give up that big old gizzard shad. I don't know. I felt like my handle on that rod broke.
Booyah! That was a tank, bro. That was a tank. But I'm sitting here going, what the heck? I got a rod that's super stiff. I've got line that has no stretch. I have my drag cranked down, and I've got all that pressure here. There's no give. So that's when I said I felt like it kind of broke right there in the handle. But that was a big fish. And I said it quick. But that was a freaking tank. I'm loving that swim jig right now. And did he just throw up a monster bait? I think it was a brim after watching the video because it was so broad and short in the way its tail came out. But that was massive. And for him to give that up for my bait was looking real. So I continue to work that area. There's a deeper spot, and that deeper spot then transitions up to the shallow water and the bank. I throw it up there and watch this.
There he is. Oh, that's a good one. Oh no! You son of a gun! No! I set that. That was a 6 or 7 pounder, dude.
Holy crap! Did you guys just see that? That was insane. Holy crap! I really, literally think that was 7, 8 in that big range. That fish locked me up. Seriously. Couple things I did wrong on that fish. One, I didn't wait. As soon as he hit it, jacked him. And after I caught the previous fish, and I was thinking, man, maybe my drag is too, because there's no give. I lowered my drag down one setting. So when I set, maybe that caused it. But looking at it, when I reeled it, that fish came around. I think I pulled the bait out of its mouth. So what do we need to do to get better at swim jig fishing? I'm going to make that a quest. I really like throwing the bait. The places that bait can get are really, it can get, I think, in places that no other bait can get. So You know, my original setup, I still like. Maybe go to 40-pound braid instead of 50. I like 7.3. I think that's the way to go. I'm not moving up to 8. One thing I want to do is I want to try some different rods. I want to try a graphite, medium heavy. I need tip. You need tip. And another thing I might try, and I probably will, is a composite rod. Because I throw my chatterbaits on a composite rod. Used to throw spinnerbaits on composite rods religiously because my hookup ratio went better, because I just don't want to delay. I don't want to do that. But when I fish a speed worm, I'm delaying, and it just comes secondhand to delay, because you throw it out there, you get that bite, and a lot of times they're coming. So you just kind of reel up and then set. And I'm throwing it on a carbon light, which has a lot of bend in that rod. It's probably a 60 kind of bend. So I definitely think I need something like that. But throwing a composite rod with a lot of cover and a lot of grass. If I was in shallow water with thick cover, probably wouldn't throw it. But when you're fishing 6, you know, that 4 to 8 foot range, I think you could probably get away from with that composite rod. But like I said, I throw all my swim jigs on that, and I like that delay. So I'm gonna try a composite rod with the same setup, with the same reel. Recently put it on a medium heavy, and this is a 7 foot. The rods change a lot when you go from 7 to like a 7.4 or 7.3 with a graphite rod. And this rod felt super natural. It's a Bionic Blade Bass Pro Shop low end rod, and you'll see it on one of my next videos. I threw it. The tip was light. On my heavy, your tip is heavy. It's top heavy because of the balance of the rod. You feel like you want to lower your rod. And when you're doing this, it's like you have no give in your rod. It just feels like you're doing nothing. But when I picked this thing up and I threw it, that rod tip is doing this, and I'm Alabama shaking that thing. And because of the light tip action, made the rod lighter on the top end. It was more comfortable in my hand up. So I was doing that, and it felt amazing. And that bait was I wasn't having to reel it. It was just hovering. I could work it really slow in that shallow area. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try some different lines. So we're going to change and test some different rods, and then we're going to try I'm going to try fluorocarbon. I probably won't buy 40-pound braid, but I might. But I want to try fluorocarbon and see how that works. You have a little more stretch, and it's just going to give you that extra time. I don't want to learn how to delay, because that's not my tendency. My tendency, I want to keep that. I'd rather get the setup that allows me to fish the same way I normally do. Because if you're delaying here and you're not here, you just need to get the right rod that helps with that situation. So I really think I don't need as stiff of a rod. But just like frog fishing, count to that 1, 2, 3, and we'll try that. So we're going to try rods, different lines, and then a different technique. Get to where it's a natural feeling to delay when I set that hook. But when you're reeling that, it's really hard to not just set the hook, but you just I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to do it. We're going to see how that works. So that setup was the same 50-pound braid, but on this medium heavy 7-foot rod. I really liked that in shallow water because it was really fun to do that Alabama shake. But this
is the bait, guys. That's the bait I was using.
Gonna probably try some different swim jigs too. And I have some dirty jigs that are lighter. I bought some heavier 1/2 ounce, but it was a 1/2 ounce Terminator swim jig. These were designed by Ott Depot. This is the exact color I was using. I think it's called OD. I don't know if that stands for Ott Depot. And I had a June bug speed worm on the back. And that's going to keep it higher. This one I don't think is going to help you skip it, but it's going to keep it higher. It's going to give it a little different action, and it won't roll over as much when you're hitting that grass as a straight tail swim bait. But we'll probably work with some of those as well, because this thing has a massive hook, guys. Super, super thick. The weed guard is nice though. It's super soft, but maybe it's just that hook. The hook is super thick and super stiff. Just wanted to break that down with you guys. It was a teachable moment that I couldn't pass up, because if you're like me, you haven't gotten out there and fished a swim jig because it just kind of seems a little silly. But I got to tell you, in some situations, that's literally the only bait you can get through those areas and work efficiently. So I'm going to have it tied on, I think, forever now and have it ready, because it's just kind of a sweet situation. So we are out. I hope you liked the video. I hope the video helps you. Stay tuned, because we're going to mix these up, and I'll try to talk about it in other videos as I use it, as I discover it. I don't know how many opportunities I will have to specifically fish a swim jig all day like I did that day, and that was why it was such a cool situation. I literally said, let's fish the swim jig today. Go out, we don't catch them, but wow, we had some opportunities, some major missed opportunities, not a lot of bites, but we got some really quality bites and some quality fish in the boat. So I hope this video helped you, and we will see you. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time on Be Bass Fishing.